Welcome back to the boudoir, baby. This is where we do random shit and have a whole lot of fun. Let's connect over on the Tickety Talk. I am just lovely. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Hi guys, good morning. The last time we met here, we was talking about the Atlanta child murderers. So, without further ado, I have done a little research. I have not done a whole lot. And before we get started, I would like to actually do a disclaimer because the content. Good morning, Queen Vita. The content that we'll be discussing today is not child friendly. And I may be showing pictures, and I think it is under fair use that I should be able to utilize these pictures and the content that I will be speaking on. But hide your children, because this is not for your children, okay? One thing that I had an issue with the Atlanta child murderers was I felt like they never did get to the bottom of the whole issue with the murdering and slaying of these children, right? Basically, I felt like Wayne Williams was a scapegoat and they used him. But the only crimes that Wayne Williams was convicted of was killing adults. Good morning, Lynn T. Thank you again. That he was convicted of killing two adults, but the whole case was surrounded by children. And so we're going to dive into what happened to the victims that was left behind and their cases was never solved. Basically, guys, I was writing up some information and I just couldn't read my handwriting. So I was doing my research and I did go over several websites. I did go over to Wikipedia because I remembered that when Keisha Bottoms became the mayor of Atlanta, she did try and reopen those cases simply because, as I mentioned before, we never ever got to the bottom of the murdering of those children. And they got Wayne Williams on 2 life sentences in prison, and he wasn't convicted as a murderer of either of. And you know what, y'all? I think that before we even get into the case, right? I think that YouTube is this video may not be, it wouldn't be monetized because this is a monetized channel, but YouTube, I don't think that they care about right or wrong in this case. I'll say that. In any case, I feel like they try and, smother your talk, whatever you're speaking about. They don't want you to be able to put out facts and truth. They want you to use words like murder, unalive. I don't know. I'm gonna have to actually go in and do my due diligence when it comes to YouTube as well, because I do watch a lot of true crime stories, and I noticed that a lot of the true crime that I've been watching over the years has been redirecting the way that they speak in these videos. So the reason why I titled the video "Let's Talk," and it probably wouldn't be, it's like a random topic, right? I felt like if I would have put that we were going to be speaking about the Atlanta child murderers, then I probably could garner more of an audience here. But it is what it is. I just don't get it. Like, YouTube, I love the platform, but I feel like they stifle a lot of things that people want to talk about over here. Whereas I can go over on TikTok and play all the good music that I want to listen to, speak about certain things, and not feel like my voice is being stifled. Good morning, Felicia Fee. So what I did was I wrote up my notes and I took notes because I wanted to actually know the timeline based on the conversation that me and Andrea was having this week just passed. And basically Andrea got me hyped up because she was like, so I watched this series on Netflix and they was talking about the the slaying of the children. So, did your parents not care about you as a teenager? She said a teenager, y'all. Did your parents not care about you as a teenager being going to like teen clubs and being out on your own or whatever? And I was like, hey, wait, I'm not that old, okay? Like these things happened when I was a very young child. As a matter of fact, when they arrested Wayne Williams, I was in first grade. So this timeline that these things happened to these children were between 1979 and 1981. That's not a very long timeline. But we have to also keep in mind that we had lost 28 children. The only reason why this particular case gained national headlines was because there was a tourist from Cleveland, Ohio, that was also mixed in with this. Okay. So let's just get into it. Like I said, I've looked up Wikipedia, I've looked up, a few websites. I didn't want anything recent. I wanted to go back into those days and times. So, yeah, let's get to it. As you can see in the background, I utilize some of the donations that I get on the channel, and I went back and I did do my StreamYard subscription. Thank you to the contributor for that. And so, as you can see in the background of the picture, we have the 28 children. Out of these 28 children, I think they only had like two girls that was involved in this case. So, though Wayne Williams was convicted in two cases, who was behind the rest of the Atlanta murderers? And that's what I want to talk about today. This left at least 28 children dead, but no one was ever convicted of their killings. And all this stuff happened back in the late 1970s and early 80s. A mysterious killer terrorized the Black communities in Atlanta. One by one, Black children and young adults were being kidnapped, and they turned up dead within days or weeks later. So, this is what we would call the Atlanta child murderers. Now, police, they eventually arrested a local man. His name was Wayne Williams, in connection to the horrendous crimes. But Williams was only convicted of two killings, far less than the 29 slayings that he was implemented on, okay? And furthermore, he was found guilty for two men, not children. These men were in their early to late 20s and definitely not children. So I don't understand. Now I could see Wayne Williams getting um two life sentences for killing two people. And I can understand why Wayne Williams may be in prison for the rest of his life based on the fact of these two people that he was convicted of killing. If you all remember, Wayne Williams was actually caught on the Chattahoochee Rivers Bridge going into Cobb County, where a body was found splashing into the river, right? And when they arrested him, he kind of was like, oh yeah, I think I know what y'all want to talk to me about. Y'all want to talk to me about these Atlanta killings or whatever, but I feel like y'all need to get on y'all job. But this was an adult. Although it appears that the homicide stopped when they arrested Wayne, I still believe that it was something more sinister going on in the background, okay? I do. I feel like, and we're going to get to that later on in this conversation. I will also be dropping the link um in case someone want to come up and talk to me about this. But let me just get through my commentary and then we can discuss it on a 1-to-1 ratio or how many other people want to come up, okay? Now, they actually did like a Netflix series back in 2019 called Manhunter. And in this same year, it was reopened by Keisha Lance Bottoms, who was the mayor at the time. But we still haven't come to the conclusion as to who actually did this to these children. So let's start with our first victim that we found. On July 1979, the first body linked to the Atlanta child murder was discovered, and it was a 13-year-old boy named Alfred Evans. He was found in a vacant lot. His shirtless body was found, and he was barefoot. He had been killed by strangulation, and he had just disappeared from his home within 3 days prior to them locating him. But hi, good morning, Beverly. Police investigated the crime, and they found that it was a very strong odor, and less than 150 feet from him, they found another young man by the name of Edward Hope Smith, who was at the time 14 years old. Chopped it up as drug related. They didn't even investigate these as, what happened to these children. These are young children, guys. Like, good morning, sister. These are young children. This a 13 and a 14-year-old young man found dead in a vacant lot. And the police at the time consider it drug related, and they just left it at that. But a few months later, more and more kids started coming up dead. The next bodies that was uncovered was a 14-year-old guy named Milton Harvey and a 9-year-old Yusef Bell. Both children had been strangled to death. Bell was the fourth victim, had been living in a housing project just blocks away from where his body was found. And his death hit the community hard. The whole neighborhood cried because they loved that child so much. And Bell's neighbor, who knew him and knew that he enjoyed math and history, said that this child was a God's gift. 4 murdered Black children in the span of a few months raised suspicion amongst the victims' families. But the police still did not care. They did not care. They did not want to establish that we had some type of psychopath on the loose in the Atlanta area. By March of 1980, the death toll has risen to 6. At this point, it had become increasingly clear to residents in their communities that something strange was amiss. The parents, they started implementing very strict curfews on their children, and yet victims still was turning up. Almost everyone was boys except for 2 girls, and though a couple of victims linked the case were later found as adult men, most of them were children, and all of them were Black. The African American community in and about the Atlanta were gripped with fear and anxiety, but there were mostly extreme frustration since the Atlanta Police Department had not drawn a connection between the cases. Black mothers, they rallied together against the police inactions, and even with the heightened vigilance in the community, kids just kept coming up disappearing. March 1980, Willie Mae Mathis, was watching the news with when her 10-year-old son Jeffrey was missing. I'm sorry, with her 10-year-old son Jeffrey, when they both saw an investigation moving the body of one of the victims. She warned her son about the interaction with strangers. He said, "Mama, I don't talk to strangers." But tragically, the next day, Jeffrey was going to a corner store to get a loaf of bread, never returned back home, and his body was later found. The reality that young black youth were being preyed on and murdered in Atlanta set shockwaves through the city communities. Even more chilling, the circumstances of the death varieties in the Atlanta child murderers. Some children were strangled, while others were stabbed, bludgeoned to death, or gunshot wounds. Worse, the case of some of the victims, like Jeffrey Mathis, was undetermined. By May, the grieving families still had not received any significant updates on the investigation. Frustrated by the Atlanta mayor at the time, who was Maynard Jackson, who our airport is named after, inactions and reluctance of the Atlanta police to recognize connected, the community started organizing on their own. What are we saying in the chat? Lynn T said, "I remember when I was a little girl, my cousin had moved to Columbus with my grandma because my aunt was scared to." Oh yeah, I can imagine. I could. And basically, with the conversation that I was having with Andrea the other day, I was trying to explain to her that it could have. I think that in my situation, like I said, by first grade, I think I was 6 years old. My parents did not allow for us, we couldn't even leave the yard. But in a lot of the communities where the children were being snatched up at, it wasn't uncommon for those kids to be out at the playground playing alone or with friends. And it was easy for them to be snatched up. In August, Camilla Bell, the mother of Yusuf Bell, joined forces with other parents of victims and formed a committee to, and it was called Stop Children Murderers. The committee was supposed to act as a community power coalition to push for accountability over the stalled investigation of the slain children. Incredibly, it worked. The city significantly increased both the size of the investigation task force and total reward money for tips. Bell and the committee also successfully galvanized the community to become active in a safeguard in their community. So this is when I remember seeing, the men coming out with their berets. I think I didn't think they were like the Black Panther Party, but I remember looking at the news and there were like men in the neighborhoods with, weapons, and they were there for those kids. I remember seeing that. We were encouraging people to get to know their neighbors. We were encouraging the busybodies to go back to dipping in everybody's business. We were saying that if you tolerate crime in your neighborhood, you're asking for trouble. According to Bell, the murder of 13-year-old Clifford Jones, a victim from Cleveland, also pushed this to the authorities after the murder of a tourist had made national news. So, anytime anything in your neighborhood or your city happens, and it happens to someone who is visiting, they always want to get down on it and make sure that we get this nipped in the bud, because who want to lose tourism dollars to big cities simply because someone is not taking their child back home with them, right? Meanwhile, local citizens armed themselves with baseball bats, volunteering for the city neighborhood patrol. Others volunteered joining the citywide search to uncover clues to help them get this case solved. A few months after the committee's forward, Georgia officials requested that the FBI join forces. Now there is a website, and the website is called let me see if I can find that website where you can actually go and look at, hold on, you could go and look at some of the, I think it's on my laptop. I ain't gonna be able to do it. I'm not gonna be able to do it, but it's a federal website where you can actually look at documents of the case. I told y'all I was actually doing it, but I couldn't write, so and I can't type, so I decided to go this route. So the FBI stepped up and they came in. Um, Five of the national top homicide detectives were brought in as to consultate these murderers. And two U.S. Justice Department officers also were dispatched to the city to provide support. At long last, authorities was taking the case seriously. Wow, finally, someone is taking these cases seriously. Now, I would have thought maybe, the first two, when, that was the first two. But within months, then we got two more and two more and two more. And finally, we get up to 28 children, right? So I just felt like, what are you guys waiting on? Come on, what are you guys waiting on? Now, the arrest and conviction of Wayne Williams for some of the Atlanta murderers, okay? Now, this is to me the most devastating part of this whole case. Like I said before earlier in the video, Wayne Williams was convicted on killing two male adults. Me investigating Wayne Williams, I found out that Wayne Williams was a homosexual black male. Both of his parents was professors or they was educators. And Wayne, he had a lifestyle where he was trying to involve himself in the music industry. So he would sleep all day and be out all night. But most of these children was being snatched up during the day when Wayne was asleep. And I never understood how could they make the correlation between Wayne Williams and these children. How could we just end it at that note to say, yep, he did it. Wayne Williams did it. That he's the one. Wayne Williams is the guy who actually did this to these children. I was never able to actually get the correlation between the two, right? I just felt like we can't go any further than this guy right here. This is the man who they're saying that actually did this to these children. They're saying that Wayne Williams from 1979 to 1981, 29 black children and young adults was identified as victims of the Atlanta child murderer. However, on April the 13th, the day before my birthday, I'm gonna have to put myself in this. Y'all know me. 1981, FBI Director William Webster announced that the police had identified the killers. Seemingly, multiple perpetrators of four of the slain children. However, authorities lacked significant evidence to file charges. Then, a month later, a police officer working the department stakeout operation over the Chattahoochee River heard a splashing sound. The officer then saw a station wagon passing over the bridge and overheard on the South Cobb Parkway Bridge. Oh God, y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm working myself up. I'm gonna drop the link so I can I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm gonna drop the link. I feel like I'm working myself up. Anyone want to come up? Come up, help a girl out. I'm getting stressed out, okay? So, suspicion, he decided to stop the driver for questioning. The driver was 23-year-old Wayne Williams. The officer let Wayne go. Thank you. Y'all, let me let her up. Hold on. And let me drop the banner. So, Queen, what you think so?
Okay, I just want Cam up to tell you just calm down. Don't get yourself worked up because you know what happens when you get yourself worked up.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't give you a little breather. Okay,
Thank
in my opinion, when it came to the child killings, I never thought he was guilty of all of those, and a lot of those was family members. In my opinion, I can't
mm-hmm.
prove anything, and I like to preference everything with my opinion.
Right.
Um, I remember one of those cases where the child was taken out the bedroom, had been sleeping in between other children, and they claimed that somebody came in, took the child out the bedroom, and then I don't know if that was the child that was found um tied to the tree, but I remember it was one child, one I know it was a female was found with her panties in her mouth.
Yep.
If I can remember right.
You
And
you on point.
yeah. And like even with the lady who they said that she sat down and she talked to her child about not talking to strangers. A lot of these were not strangers. These was family members or people that knew the family that killed these children. And unfortunately, it's because, not a lot of value is placed on black lives that our black children don't matter. If our black men don't matter, definitely our black children don't matter. Um, and as you said before, the in my opinion, the only reason why it got the notoriety that it did get was because of the tourist that was killed.
Mm-hmm.
And Wayne Williams, he was those older guys was coming to him trying to produce music. I
Right.
those children, I don't. It was just like, okay, we got somebody. Let's just close it now.
And that's what upset me, Queen. I was that right there in itself. He are you know what business he in. These older guys, they were actually Nathan Carter, who was 27 years old, and then you found Jimmy Ray Payne, who was 21. And both of them was found at the Chattahoochee River. Most of those children were found right in their communities. Both of these people were found in Cobb County. Now, I remember that Wayne Williams and he stayed with his parents. They stayed near the Westlake train station. I don't know if a lot of people know, we got people that's familiar with Atlanta here, but the Westlake train station, they lived on the other side of the station. Majority of the projects in these areas where these children came from, they were not far from where he lived at, but I feel like none of those children that was found, they just didn't add up to me as being within his reach. And like I said, you got the one child that was supposedly taken out of bed in the middle of the night, but then majority of those kids was They were outside in the daytime and they just never came home. But Wayne was asleep all day.
Well, unfortunately, it's and not just black society, but in our society, like they always say, when somebody comes up missing or dead, you look at the immediate family, the person's closest to them first.
That's
And
true.
the high percentage, majority of the time, it is somebody who's close to the family. That stranger danger stuff, that
Mm-mm.
doesn't work because everybody had that uncle or that cousin that they would never leave their children with, and they knew the deal on it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the black household, I know in my time, I'm a 60s baby. It was like whatever go on in my house, stay in my house. I adapted that when it came to my own children. It wasn't until I got older till I realized I'm just talking about what go on in here. If you mad with me, I wasn't necessarily thinking about somebody touching on you because I didn't. Fortunately, I didn't have never have to experience that.
Right.
My black sheep part of my family was, we had the crazy uncle who sat in the room and talked to himself. We went in the South. We don't necessarily put our people in no institution. They just out with everybody else. That would have been my uncle that my mama wouldn't have left me with, but not because he was a predator, but because he was just that shit crazy and everything else. So
Yeah, he was just crazy.
yeah, he was just crazy. He didn't never, he wasn't never that kind that he wasn't even, I don't even know if he even ever thought about sex. He was that one that would just sit in the room and talk to himself. He wasn't the
And you
violent
know
type.
what? And that's the thing. Like I've known people like that. I've known people who have that one uncle. Woo child, hey, that one uncle that he wouldn't hurt a fly. Wouldn't hurt a fly. He might sit there and talk to himself. He'll have his routine, but you still wouldn't leave your children with him. You just simply wouldn't. So I understand exactly what you're saying. And I have been around people that when I've seen the dynamics of their family, I just knew that that wasn't the if the friend wanted to play with me, they had to come on and they had to come over our house because I just didn't feel comfortable with your uncle wants somebody to sit on his lap. No. Wu Child speaking to you on the chat, Queen.
Good morning, Woo Child. I got to learn how to work this chat and be up here on the thing at the same time. I ain't got that
Yeah,
down yet.
we got Felicia in the chat. But yeah, no, I definitely get that. And you giving me a different angle too. Because I'm gonna tell you the angle that I was going with. And the reason why I felt like it once they got Wayne and locked him up, I felt like the it stopped because there is an article that I read where they were saying how there was this guy who was a supremacist and he yep, thank you, you on my head, man, to you in my head. There was a white supremacist that admitted that he wanted to kill over a dozen children, and I feel like he successfully did what he wanted to do, and they never arrested him because they already had Wayne in custody. And once they got Wayne in custody, it stopped. It just stopped. But you giving me a different angle when it comes to it could, and you're right. Usually it is like they say when you find yourself looking into a homicide of a woman or children, it's usually they always go and look at the ex-boyfriends, the husband. They look at them people first. But Lynn said, I believe that it was them pale people, them invisibles. them invisibles.
Well, I believe some of them could have been attributed to those people, but in my mind, when it comes to the one about like the girl being taken out the bedroom and she's sleeping with her other people, that one I don't buy. I think it was multiple people murdering, and I agree. The pair of people did some, and they didn't want to bring that up because it would have been a think about the race war that would have ensued if that
That's
was to
what
come
his
out.
goal was. That was his goal. His goal, he said that he wanted to set the city on fire. So
And
mhm.
he would have set the city on fire. But Atlanta
So
didn't need Atlanta was protecting Atlanta at that time. You
yeah.
already had a bunch of murders that you now want to be known as the capital of Georgia, and you got a race war going on. A lot of this stuff be political when it come down to solving these crimes and putting this stuff out here, because no city wants that reputation that you it's unsafe. So a
So
lot of
let's
that played into it.
let's go. Oh, hey, good morning, newbie. Let's go over some of these theories. So, a number of alternative theories have been cropped up throughout the years, ranking from a pedophilia ring to the government conducting horrific experiments on Black children. But one of the most widely believed theories is that the Ku Klux Klan was behind the Atlanta child murderers. In 1991, it was revealed that a police informant allegedly heard a KKK member by the name of Charles Theodore Sanders verbally threatening to choke a Black child named Luby Garrett after the boy accidentally scratched his truck while the Atlanta child murderers was still happening. Horrifically, Garrett ended up becoming one of the victims. His body was discovered in 1981, just weeks after Sanders threatened him. He had been strangled, and his I don't want to read that part because it's too graphic. It's too graphic. Yeah. So, um, evidence, witness accounts, and informants reported suggesting a link between Sanders' family and Jeter's death, and possibly 14 other children murdered. So, to keep the peace in the city, investigators allegedly decided to suppress evidence of possible KKK involvement. But despite authorities' efforts to conceal, it came back up and still suspected that white supremacist groups was responsible for the crimes. And that's where Keisha Bottoms came back in. She reopened the case back in 2019, I think, and they were actually going in that direction too. Oh, good morning, Latasha Phillips. Good morning.
Let me say this again. Whereas I do believe that some of them was committed by white individuals, but you also have to look at the fact that some of these children was found in the projects. It's nothing that's gonna stand out more in those black projects than
Than
a.
a white person.
So that's why I still cling to the theory that some of those some people that they knew. Now I'm not like if they was taken away from their home, yeah, I can go along with that. Like I said, I believe it was separate individuals. I think some of this was family members.
And I agree with that. But like in the earlier cases, they were actually found like in alleyways and things of that nature. That's a It could, and then like you say, it could be a whole lot of different people, and people would be taking advantage of the situation because we see all these kids. Oh, I've been wanting. Let me go ahead on and do this now because all this is going on, so I can go ahead and squeeze this in, and they'll put it on this one particular person whenever they catch up to somebody. So yeah, that's true. That's true. Hi, Chopper the Goats. Good morning. That's so true. I dropped the link just in case anybody else want to come up and talk about this. But I felt like this was something that I definitely want to talk about. I did plan that I wanted to do. I'm gonna tell y'all. I have videos on my channel that some days I can go and look in my studio and people are commenting on old videos. For the most part, the videos that they're commenting on are my true crime stories, and people want me to go more in depth. When I was doing those true crime stories, those videos was no more than like 7 to 8 minutes, at the most 12 to 15. And the only reason being is because the software that I was using to do my uploads, um, I got you thinking this morning, girl. The doing my uploads, it will only allow me to do so much. So I would be condensing down information that I had. And a lot of the true crime stories that I did were basically true crime stories that I had from I knew of personal, and it kind of scared me when I got some of the comments on the videos, because some of the stories I knew, they were personal stories that I knew the person. I wanted to talk more in depth on the situation. And then when I started getting certain comments under those videos, it kind of scared me and made me step back from it, because I didn't want to be targeted because of my thoughts. I wanted to actually do like a I think I might do this week. So instead of a premiere, I want to do a video, because I'm actually gonna private the video, but it's gonna be inside my one of the lives. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a live video. We're gonna premiere the video on screen. I'm gonna do like a, show it on screen. We're gonna premiere that video, and then I'm gonna private those videos, because some of the comments that I've been getting under those videos, I'm not gonna tell y'all the name of the video. Y'all just gonna see it once I put the video on private. Then that's it. Those comments will be erased. But yeah, it's kind of frightening when people are commenting on those videos, especially when you speaking of a person who have unalive people, as they say, and people you don't know. You may have family members that are out here just googling the name of the suspect and want to see what people are saying about the suspect. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring some of these true crime stories. There I did like one, the Atlanta Ripper. The Atlanta Ripper is a very good story, because it is indicative of the Jack the Ripper story. But there, like we say, we are the least protected people, especially black women. We are the least protected, and so for us to go all the way back to the early 1900s and have stories out there where people were actually, being predators against young black women, and we're still able to tell the story today, is why I'm interested in the true crime aspect of life in general. She said, I never thought of these things y'all brought up. Y'all had me thinking this morning. Y'all look at my chopper. He gave me hugs and kisses in the chat. And Sophie want to be involved in the conversation. Y'all hear her little ragged ass. But yeah, I wanted to come in and I wanted to talk about the Atlanta child murderers, because someone asked me about me as a teenager having the freedom that I had, and why my parents wasn't afraid of my safety. when it came to that. But no, I'm not that old. I think I was 6 when they had locked up Wayne Williams. You're right. When my cousin was killed in the mall in Columbus, the comments were so hateful. I actually cursed out a few folks and deleted comments from because I was grieving. Then and it's true. But you also have people out there who are protecting their family members simply because they feel like their family member shouldn't be in prison based on the fact that they were found guilty of certain things. And I honestly believe that the story that we'll be doing, that person was guilty of what he was convicted of, and that's why he sent his ass on the DOC. That's why he sent his ass in the Department of Corrections of Georgia. So Lynn, and then I'm gonna tell y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all go so I can let Sophie out and I can rest my nerves because y'all know I be getting excited, right? So I know that a lot of people know who Queen. What was the man name? I can't even believe I can't remember his name. But I did a video when 5A was trying to say that April was trying to say that she was in love with Sean Bradley, but it wasn't even Sean who she was talking about. It was actually damn what his
And,
name
and
is.
I can the bodybuilder man.
Yeah, the man who stay here in Atlanta. So
Done.
he did a video, y'all. And I was never subscribed to him, but he did a video, and I was going on my page and I was going, scrolling for something to watch, right? And while I'm looking for me something to watch, one of my family members popped up on the damn thing, right? One of my family members popped up, and it was his video. It was his video. And I clicked on it because I wanted to hear what he had to say. I do know that the family member made the news, and I wanted to see exactly what he had to say. And he was so down for my cousin child. He was like, they need to be ashamed of themselves for what happened. This young man didn't deserve this. Now, no, I'm not saying that he deserved it or did not deserve it or however he wanted to put it. Walter Lee Hampton, that's his name. I'm not saying that I don't think that my cousin deserved what he got. And thank God that he's still living. But sometimes we also have to be careful about the way that we interpret news, right? Because he had the story all fucked up. I was like, child, if you only knew, you sitting up here taking up for this person, you don't know what you talking about. I love my cousin dearly, but we said, we got some of them family members. We know them for their works, baby. And the way that the news put the story out there, I was just so amazed because I was like, oh my God, they just painted him as such an angel. But he's far from an angel, y'all. But right here, we're gonna say bye. I thank Queen B Tut for coming up and assisting me. I appreciate y'all for coming over and discussing it. For anybody who is in the replay and watching this on the replay, I want your comments and I want to know what y'all think about the whole situation. How y'all feel? Because we already came to this conclusion. Wayne was not guilty of all of these things, right? Wayne was guilty of two adults. He was guilty of two adults. And for him to be even implemented on the crime of killing these children, but they didn't have any evidence. And as far as true crime is concerned, they make it really, really hard for you to be convicted when it's certain evidence not there. So I want to know how you feel about them dropping the ball on the case of finding out who actually did take these children out. And I want to know, what's your theory? Do you think that it is the works of the pale people, or like we say, multiple? It could be family members. It could be the pale people. It could be a whole lot of things going on. So I would definitely like to know your opinion on the case. We've dug this case back up, and I thank you all for watching. Don't forget, if you would like to donate to the channel, you can, so we can keep the lights on over here on StreamYard, because Chopper is here. I see you, baby. We're gonna keep the lights on over here because I enjoy StreamYard, simply because it gives me an opportunity to be more um graphic and engaging in the conversation. Like, I was able to actually put up Wayne as a banner. Mhm. So what's your opinion, honey?
Girl, I don't even know what y'all talking about. I just came in.
We talking
Seriously,
about.
I heard you saying some of your stuff, but it was going in and out. Because I was doing other things. What's
So
up?
are you familiar with Chopper, you're a fairly younger guy, but back in 1979 to 1981, there was a series of children being murdered here in the city of Atlanta, and they all put it on this one guy, Wayne Williams, but he was only convicted of murdering a 21 and a 27-year-old man. So the reason why I did the video is simply because I was discussing the case last week on the live, and also it made me feel like I wanted to determine, is it right, and did the parents get any closure to the cases, because he wasn't convicted of murdering them and they just closed the cases of their murders.
They 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 closed the cases of the ones that they didn't even find out who murdered them.
Exactly.
Why couldn't the family fight to get it open, get it back open? The cases.
Well,
They have to get. Don't they have to hire a private investigator?
this was like I said, back in 79 to 81. Our mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, actually tried to reopen the case back in 2019.
Uh-huh.
But I think what happened with that was COVID.
Yeah, but a lot of times that's why people hire private detectives so they can, get dig deeper than what the city would do. You get what I'm saying?
And that's what they were trying to do back then.
Uh-huh.
But for whatever reason, the only thing that they were trying, I think what they were trying
No
to do,
evidence ever surfaced about like any of the murders.
okay, in the beginning, they actually just chopped it up as drug related. But these was like 13 and 14-year-old boys, right? Not saying that they wouldn't be able to do drugs, but they just chopped it up as drug related. I think by the sixth case, that's when they started taking it serious. You, it's a whole, and then I want to say this: it's a whole lot different now than it was back then. Back then the DNA evidence, it wasn't that strong. We've just recently gotten into technology that we're able to actually use DNA. Back then, DNA evidence, it usually took a very long time to even get DNA. They
Right.
did use DNA evidence on Wayne Williams simply because the fibers that was found on one of the victims was a blanket that was found in their home.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they did do that. But
So
when
what
it
happened
came,
to him? Did he die?
no, he's still in prison. He
Okay.
was convicted on 2 life sentences, but I don't think that he had anything to do with the murder of any of those children.
Oh, okay.
But that was a really huge case. There's a Netflix series called The Manhunter. It gives you a whole lot of in-depth. If you go on to
Is
YouTube,
that about him?
it's about the whole case. If you go
Oh,
on
okay.
YouTube, there's a docu-series that you can find on YouTube that was done. It was like a mini series movie back in the day, but it got like Morgan Freeman as a, so it's a movie. They did a movie on it. So if you're unfamiliar with the case, you can definitely go and at least look at videos and movies. Actually, I noticed that when I was researching, I was like, "Oh, they got movies about
Why
this."
don't you why don't you premiere one of them on your channel? I mean, you don't have to monetize off of it, but just premiere it so people
I'm
can
not a
get a better
monetized
understanding.
channel. I can. I know that one of those
You're not a
was.
monetized channel?
No.
Oh, I thought you was. Oh,
Hell no.
oh, my mistake.
Honestly, I think it's more hassle to be monetized. I know that people be wanting the money, but I think it's more of a hassle. That's what, when I first started my video out, I was talking about the way that true crime people that do true crime stories, they have been like repositioning the way that they speak on their channels, like things like smurder, unalive, stuff like that. And I think that YouTube don't give you an opportunity to actually um get your point across without demonetizing the
You just
video.
have to
Or
what you have to do is what I've been seeing. Like I watch certain people that's big content creators, and a
mm,
lot of times they just reword or rephrase what they want to say. They could still talk about it, but they just don't say those certain words that can get them demonetized, the videos. So
right.
that's
That's
how they
my
continue
point.
to monetize.
That's my point. It's like the whole time I was saying to myself before I even went live to do the video, I was like, remember you got to say on the live. Remember you got to say this. And I don't said murder 59 times.
But you know what? You can get around that.
And
I mean, and you don't have to they have it now that I mean, I'm pretty sure you have enough subscribers to do. Why don't you just do the members only? Isn't that what Leo is doing?
but Leo has the I watch hours. I don't have watch hours.
Well, work on your watch hours. You can watch on. I mean, they don't. It says something if you had only 500 subscribers. I read that somewhere. That I think it
So
was
let
in
me go
like
in
an
my
email.
studio.
Okay.
Hold on, let me go in my studio.
And I just told you how you can get your watch hours.
By watching.
No, by showing you can do commentary on those. You just said you saw a miniseries. You can do commentary on that since you're talking about it. It's a movie. It's on. Is it on YouTube?
It is.
You can do like a mini series talking about this case, and then you can show different parts. You don't have to show the whole thing, but you can. It can educate people even more, and that can help you with your views. And it won't just draw the people that's in this sector. It will draw people that's interested in cases like this. You get what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what my intention is. Actually, my intention is to actually utilize some of my true crime content on my channel so that I can private those videos, because I still get views off those, but I don't appreciate the comments under those videos.
Well, what you
It's
should
kind
do
of,
is just turn the comments off, or you can go in your settings and type in certain things that you don't want to be said in the comment section, and people won't be able to post it. You get what I'm saying?
right. I think the harshest thing that to me is that the some of the stuff that I do content
Uh-huh.
on are from people that I actually know.
Oh, okay. And you know what? Another
You
thing
know,
I was gonna
so
suggest is another thing I was gonna suggest is or say to you, you know, anybody in media has to watch what they say. Even people on TV, they have to go along to a protocol. They can't just say whatever they want to say when they're on the news. Just like it's against so many rules and regulations to talk against Jews. It's the same thing wherever you go. You get what I'm saying?
I understand that.
Yeah. So it's
I
just
do.
that's how media is in general. It don't have nothing to do with YouTube. It's just they have to follow certain bylaws for having a site like YouTube. If they don't follow them, I mean, they can have a lot of lawsuits filed against them due to them, you
Right.
know, offending certain people. Yeah.
And I understand alleged. I understand words like that too.
Yeah.
But it's saying that right now I'm up to 15. Wait, I'm up to 1,100 views, right? And in
Okay.
order for me to be monetized, I have to have at least 3,000. I met the threshold of the subscribers and the videos or whatever.
Well, I suggest that you do that. Do post more videos. You can even post people post actual movies or post actual docu series. They not get it's not about the monetization. It's about those views and those views, those watch hours, the people watching your video. That's gonna get you your watch hours quicker. You get what I'm saying?
But
You
wouldn't
just
that be
and you
like
need to
a
tag it too, huh?
copyright?
No, you won't get in trouble. All you have to do is put in a
Wouldn't that
description.
be like me stealing other people's?
No, no, because you're not trying to gain. You could put that in the description that I'm not trying to gain
Oh,
any monetization. Huh? What you say?
oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah,
say
you
anything.
could.
I'm listening to you.
Oh, okay. No, I was just saying that that's people do that to gain subscribership and or get their numbers or whatever, and you don't have to always keep it up there. You can put it on private once you feel like you reached that point or whatever. I don't know. It still is gonna still be on your channel that you still have those hours. So either way, but I mean, it can help you gain more
Thank you,
subscribers too.
Lanty. Lanty said she will.
She said
Lanty
what?
said I will turn you on my tablet and let it run all day, and that'll help you too. And you know what? I need to actually go in and my studio and make like some playlists too. Like I might add this one to like a true crime playlist because we are talking about true crime situations or whatever. I want to
And you
change my
know, a lot
banner
of
too because I don't
times,
want those kids on my in my background.
a lot of times, do you remember when the girl was killed by her so-called friends when they went to Mexico?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a man that
I
basically kind of
remember
made
that.
the. You remember it was a man in that town that she's from that basically made the story even more big than what the authorities was trying to make it out to be. You know that, right? He was doing commentary on it. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, I remember him. I do. I
That's
remember him.
well, that's the same thing you can do with your stories that you report on. You could do the same thing. If you find like evidence, I'm pretty sure you can like speak on it. I mean, it's not like gonna be like legal. Like you can't say that, oh well, this is evidence, but this is what I found, you know, that's relate pertaining to the case. And, you know, dig a little deeper. Like people do those conspiracy um content videos, you know, those
Yes.
conspiracy videos about like say for instance Aaliyah passing away or Tupac passing away.
Right.
And they give details on what they found and how they believe what they believe actually happened that was pertaining to them passing away. And that's how you can build your channel up, and you'll get more views. Some people might be even agreeing with you. You get what I'm saying? Of course, you're gonna get negative
Mhm.
commentary. I mean,
The
people always make
naysayers.
comments. They may always make bad comments. That's really nothing that you can really um, monitor. I mean, people are gonna say what they're gonna say, but like I said, you can go in your studio and type in certain words and phrases if you don't want them mentioned in your comment section, and it won't get mentioned because it'll just get blocked out if they try to
No, that's
type it.
not, and I get that because I have words that I have blocked too. I have words that I block. But the thing is like I said, most of the cases that I've covered are personal cases that I know.
Oh, okay.
And those personal cases that I know, yeah, I don't need them trying to hunt me down because they disagree with what I'm saying. And you're right, Queen V, to great tips. Chopper, can you please give me a minute? I need to step away for just a moment, okay? Don't leave
Okay.
my people. Talk to my people while I step away.
All right, what y'all want to talk about? I don't know what y'all talk about over here. I'm really not in the mood to really do no commentary or no talking, but I mean, I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I can't see the chat because I'm not. Let me see. Let me look at the comment section. What's going on in the chat? I mean, I'm not one of these type of people. But if anybody is wondering why I'm like, I sound like I'm sick or whatever, I just recently, well, yesterday, I just got released out the hospital, so I'm not really feeling good. I actually got pneumonia, so I'm just trying to like take that one day at a time. But it's gonna be a week. Yeah. You said we talk about some of everything. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know anything about murder cases. I'm not into that really, but
Chop, I
I don't
pray
know.
that you get well soon.
Yeah, it was yesterday. My fever. I had a fever of 103.
Oh,
It was terrible. Yeah, and I had actually waited some days before I even tried to go to the hospital because I was figuring that they wasn't gonna really do nothing. So I just avoided it. But yesterday I was feeling so damn well. The day before I was feeling so bad. I just I could not go somewhere and get some help because that's just how
so why
bad I
do
was
we
feeling.
do that, Chopper?
Because I know how they gonna act. They usually do the same thing. They'll be like, "Oh, we'll give you some Tylenol," and then they'll send you on your way. But I'm like, Tylenol ain't gonna do it. I got Tylenol.
I can go get Tylenol.
Yeah, I got Tylenol, so they gave me something stronger than that. But then they decided to admit me, and they
Because of
gave
your
me a
temperature,
series.
right?
Yeah, it was because of that too, and they also thought I might have had like a blockage in my veins because I had been coughing up a lot of blood for days. Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah, so it was just kind of crazy, but at the same time, like people was trying to convince me, like my mom and my sister and my other family members and friends was trying to convince me, like you need to go get that seen and all of that. And I'm like, I could take care of that myself.
so do you have like one particular hospital that you prefer over others?
Well, what I did is I did go somewhere where I knew that they would see me right away. And I
Right.
knew that I wouldn't have to sit there a long time. And that was the closest hospital that I was to. I think it was, I don't know what day it was. It must have been like Thursday. No, it was Friday. It was Friday when I went there. But I didn't stay in there long. But she was just like, I want you to like, rest a little. And I didn't even get a chance to rest because I was in so much damn pain.
Do you apple food?
I'm not gonna respond to that.
Shit. Look, now Chopper, hold up. Let me tell you something.
I do be
The
giving them a
chopper,
hard time because that's how they treat me.
yeah, see, and that's my point. I pray for you as you pray for me because you know I've been going through a whole lot too.
Yeah,
And
with
I
your brain,
know,
right?
yes, and I know that people and I'm guilty of this. When I have positions or jobs or whatever, the only
Mhm.
thing I want to do is my 8 and go. So, and I have to remind them, look, I'm human. I know how it is to have a job and
Mhm.
have to do this. So, if you sign up to be a nurse or whatever you sign up to do, where you gonna have to be bothered with the public, then you gotta keep in mind that you got to be bothered with the public.
Right. But a lot of people, they got to learn how to talk to people too, because it's like the doctor that I had yesterday. I just was like, I don't think I could have her as a doctor. Because we would have been bumping heads big time. But
Queen
look,
said, yeah, I stopped going to med stops. She said, I go to med stops instead of the main emergency room. Well,
right,
you
I
know,
was gonna go to the urgent care, but what can the urgent care do if you are in a situation like I was in?
and that's what
What?
that was gonna be my point. Who
Yeah.
hi belly man boy? That was gonna be my point for myself. I ain't nothing no urgent care can do for me. I got to go to emergency. I
Right.
have to. And I've experienced we have hospitals here in Atlanta that their hospitals they will keep you, but they only have certain criterias. And I learned that a long time ago that that's not the one for me. I got to go to the real big one.
Do you go to Grady?
Hell no, I don't go. Now listen,
Hey,
I
did you
was
hear about that lady?
one lady.
You didn't hear about that lady that tried to burn down Martin Luther King Jr.'s childhood home?
Ooh,
She was black too. I was like,
I,
what the
look,
hell?
look, look. Wait, Chopper, wait. My auntie was like, "Did you?" This happened the other day too. I was that
Yeah.
Thursday, but she was like, "Did you hear about that lady who tried to burn down Martin Luther King childhood home?" And I'm like, "No, she white, ain't she?"
No,
And
it was
just
a
so
white man
happened,
that stopped her from doing it.
yes, just so happened we were sitting at the table having dinner and we were looking at the news and that lady face popped up on that screen and I was like, you got to be lying to
And
me.
she didn't have no remorse or nothing. She just,
Yeah, and then the man was like, it didn't ignite, the fire didn't ignite, and she seemed like she got upset, but they had her on film. Dawson Gabby
I saw it. I watched the video several times.
Let me go find this damn video. Hold on.
You should have did a report on that. Why you didn't do a video on that?
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Give a little detail about who the person is and all of that, and then is she mentally stable? If they found out,
We
if
gonna
they,
do that. I'm okay. So this is what we gonna do, y'all. Today, because y'all, let me tell Queen, because Queen, wait, let me say this, and then I'm gonna go in my comments, okay? So today I'm home alone. I think I might be home alone until maybe like around 8 tonight. So today I'm home alone. That's why I asked Queen to come up here with me because I had started getting excited. And I started like it felt like I was about to over what you
exert
call
yourself.
it? It seemed like I was about to hyperventilate. And so
Like
basically I
have a
had to,
panic attack.
yeah, I had to get somebody up here with me because I was like, ooh, child, girl. Now I already did them medications, right?
Hmm.
So basically, I was like, "Oh, child, you ain't finna do this and you home alone." But I did. I
Yeah.
felt like I was hyperventilating. So I was glad to have my queen B Tut to come up here and be with me. So I
She
went
could come back
hyperventilating.
up. She can come back up. I didn't want you to think
Oh no, no,
I would
no. We
didn't want to come
good.
up, but
We
yeah.
good. We good. She knows. She know. So listen, we're gonna go over these because we got some good comments in this comment section. So
Hmm.
she said, "Oh, Belly Man Boy said, what is this?" So Belly Man Boy, we're having a live discussion We were having a live discussion on the Atlanta child murderer, and we were discussing certain key points of that particular murder, right? Then Lynn T said, "Yeah, I agree. I treat people the way I want to be treated while I'm at work." And then we started talking about the lady who doused all that gas on Dr. Martin Luther King's house. And she was like, "What's wrong with her?" Girl, I don't know. I said she gotta be psycho. And then make it so bad, the men they actually got her down to the ground. They wasn't even from Atlanta. And I already knew that that house was considered like a you know,
It's government property. I
ranger.
didn't know that. I didn't know that. But you know what? I just found something. It's a notification that just popped up maybe an hour ago. It says she received no bond and accused for trying to let's see. But I want to know why she did that,
I want to
and
know why
then a
she did.
black person of all of that.
So when Dr. Martin Luther King Childhood Home is considered like a I don't really know how to explain it, but they have that whole area where he grew up in the church and the King Center and things like that are considered to where they have park rangers, right?
Right,
So the park rangers was actually the ones to actually get her arrested after these men that were from out of town, they were tourists,
right.
and they were the ones who actually tackled her to the ground until someone came and arrested that ass.
Uh-huh.
Queen said, "Down here, if needed, they will send you to the emergency room by ambulance and you will speed through the intake process." So, y'all know that 2 Tuesdays ago, I actually had suffered a seizure, and my brother was like,
Oh
"I don't
wow.
want you to
Sorry to hear
go
that.
to." Yeah, I think I'm okay. My brother was like, "I don't want you to go to the emergency room and have to actually sit there and wait for somebody to come and get you. So I want to actually get you on an ambulance so that you can be in the intake quicker." But I didn't want to go through no ambulance because y'all, them ambulance, I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. Those ambulance costs when they charge you shit.
And
You
that
might
doesn't mean
well.
just because you get an ambulance does not mean that you're gonna get seen right away either. Because I've been in the ambulance several times and they do not see you right away. Sometimes they'll make you
and
still sit there for hours.
and basically with me, and I went to the emergency room and I explained to them that my situation, what happened. They could see me and they saw what was going on. Actually, that got me back really quick.
Oh,
Belly
okay.
Man
Yeah.
Boy said, even being in a physical altercation at work, this girl at work grabbed my dreads and continued to lay out, hollering and screaming while pounding me before squeezing. This y'all, this y'all, the squeezing that. Wait. She was squeezing what? Oh, he said, what was she squeezing, Belly Man Boy? Queen got them looks. Know you good. Belly Bang, he said, "Have you yourself been on a fight before? Did you win, lose? Did you get them in a headlock or get on top of them?" Oh, executive session 420. I had thought about doing me a little 420 activities today, but I decided against it. I'm still waiting on the opportunity to do it. I don't know. I guess he talking to Miss Queen B. Tut. Let me see what that F and yeah. So Miss Tut, a short while after giving another quick squeeze, finally letting go of my head. She had me in the headlock for 5 minutes. Oh, he talk and see. I think that I've been contemplating executive session 420. I've been contemplating. Y'all see how Chopper left me. But I've been contemplating a little pop-up pads to kind of help me with those situations. I have been, and welcome to the chat, sir or ma'am. It said I would do the 420 session for you. You just don't know. Now I got Chopper back here. You
Sorry
just
about that.
no problem, babes. You just don't know, Lindsay. Y'all remember when I was telling y'all about the candlelight visual? My cousin was actually like, "Here, take this," and I've been holding on for that. I've been holding any advice. Let me. I'm gonna get to you on that one. E- Excellent. We is God's gift. Yeah, that's the gift herb. I remember back in the day when I used to be a heavy. I told y'all I probably smoked an ounce a day. I probably smoked an ounce a day. I agree. But I and you know back then I learned that there was a difference. You know, you had your sativa and you had your indica. And I had to try and switch because I didn't want the sleepy effect. And I knew that one of them used to make me real hostile the way I wanted to beat everybody ass. So yeah, but I'm thinking about getting back into it. I think I got enough for about 3 blunts, but I think I'm gonna get me some strawberry 1.5s and have at it. You know they got the banana 1.5, and yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Do a hybrid. It's better for most, and you prefer indica. Yeah, I agree. I agree. So I've been trying, but I don't know. For some odd reason, it just. I said today I was gonna roll me a joint, and then I said, it's a number of reasons why. I know that once I go back into my epilepsy clinic, that's gonna be one of the main topics. I'm gonna go for some medical and see if we can handle it in that situation. Honestly, I know the medication that I'm on, I can even have alcoholic beverages with that. So yeah, I'm contemplating. I'm contemplating. D- d- dump your site meds, sleeping pills, etc. Weed and CBD will cover it all. Well, executive session. I'm gonna tell you this. For now, I'm not on any psych meds, but I am on some meds to control the seizures. And I feel like at this point I'm gonna have to continue with that medication because it's not fun to be having those seizures. I'm gonna tell you that. And I realized that maybe my body has become used to me doing the medication, and that's why I've been having success in not having seizures. So I'm gonna have to keep at it. I'm gonna have to keep at it. Bad advice, I agree. I'm gonna have to keep at it. I'm not dumping them meds because them meds keeping me here. And having seizures is definitely not fun. It's not fun. And it seemed like, look, they like, that's some horrible advice, sir. That I'm surprised they ain't time your ass out. Don't time them out. Don't time them out. And if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I would definitely appreciate that. And please go back and watch some of my old videos because me and Chopper trying to get this channel more monetized over here.
I'll help you. I mean, I just gave you some advice on what you should do
I'm
though.
taking it too, honey. I'm taking it. I'm taking your advice. I am. And because I have multiple devices over here, I'm going to actually
You know another thing you could do?
what?
You know how I did that video to show what you can do to market your videos on without paying, which now they got something else that you can market on YouTube to promote your videos and you can pay. They always find the ways for you to pay on YouTube and take more of your money. But You could do stuff like that. You know how to edit and stuff. Start showing little tips on how to edit their videos, how to edit a video. You don't have to give all your tips away, but you can do stuff like that, and that'll gather more people from other areas of YouTube that'll come and subscribe to your channel and be looking forward to getting, tips from you. You could start a little segment like that.
Yeah, and then I said I wanted to also start a segment on how to actually make your own intros, because if y'all don't know it, I do my own graphics and intros on the channel.
Mm.
Um Lately I haven't been too much into it because look at Lynn T talking about she watches Scarlett. Scarlett is a fool, child. Scarlett is a fool. But I kind of miss doing Scarlett videos too. Scarlett is a whole lot of work and storage space on my cell phone because Scarlett is actually a iPhone is an emoji, and she takes a lot of work. She takes a lot of work. And I noticed that a lot of people have been doing emojis on their videos.
You
The
can't
people
do
that
that on like an iPad or something like that.
I don't have a working iPad at this time. She
Well, you
talking about
need to
she,
work on. That's something you need to work on. Like you need to, how we were just talking about the membership. Get you a membership.
yeah,
I mean, once you get those numbers, you can get you a membership. You don't even have to do the regular stuff to try to keep up the quota to keep doing videos. You could just do it for your members only. You get what I'm saying?
right. And another thing too is I also have an additional channel, and it's like paper crafting and planning, right? And we're coming up to 2024, and I've gotten planners. I have two planners. I also have a traveler's notebook. Someone asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I told them that I would like to get equipment so that I want to get some things so that I can make me a traveler's notebook this year. Since one of my favorite companies done went out of business due to the C-19 that I usually get my traveler's notebooks from. So I want to create my own traveler's notebook.
So what do you
And
think you need to do that? Because I mean, I actually know how to do that, and I could teach you how to do it, and you do it yourself.
I know how to do it.
No, but what I'm saying is, during C-19, I purchased a lot of software, or stuff that can help me do stuff like create stuff, and
But look,
you welcome to use it if you want to use it,
listen, Chopper.
huh?
Do you know how many machines I got around here? I have a Cricut maker. I have a silhouette. I also work in Canva. I also work on in certain things. It's certain program like the
Have you
program
ever heard of tangent templates?
who?
Tangent templates.
No, I'm gonna have to research that.
Well, I can let you use mine. I mean, I don't I use this sometimes when I create books, but I can let you use mine. You could use it and create stuff with it. But I know how to design stuff myself, so I really don't have to use the templates. I know how to
It's, and that's me,
manipulate.
but I wanna try it. I'm gonna email. Let me give you my email, Chopper, because I would love to try it because
What
um
I'll do is you don't even need the email. I'm gonna put it in your
that
private
chat.
chat.
Okay.
I'll give you the information, and you just go on the site. You type in just go on there and look at it. Look at the website.
Yeah, I would love to look at that because I'm a software book. I love software. I do. Executive Sessions 420 said, I worked in site for over 15 years and my advice was excellent. I never mentioned medical meds, but no harm meant. I apologize. Oh no, I'm not offended, sir. Sir or madam. It's just that anytime I miss my medication, I have seizures, and I just don't feel like at this present moment that's a good thing for me. Like I said before, I wasn't offended by your advice. It's just that that's not for me. It's not. Oh damn, Queen just said it. Ooh. But y'all look. Um, let me see. Lately, what I've been working on, like I said, I've been working on my oh, you asked me what I need. So basically, what I want to do is, I know a lot of people may be familiar with Etsy. And so one of my friends asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and y'all know that Etsy do be selling like that damn they sell like fake, I want to say fake. I'm gonna say fake Louis Vuitton material, right? It's like the canvas on my Neverfull. And basically what I wanted to do was I want him to purchase me like some material so that I can make me a Louis Vuitton traveler's notebook. And the inside, those would be good for me to use on that particular that program that you're speaking about. I can make my inserts and things like that from that. But so basically what I'm gonna tell him is I need me some new eyelets, I need me some jump bands, and I want that material. And I'm gonna make me a A5 traveler's notebook, and then I'm gonna make my own inserts. I probably even do about four. And yeah, so that's my goal. My also the goal is to go back over on that Just Lovely Plans channel and go ahead and get that one jumping, because with that channel I get to be more creative and I have a lot of fun being creative. Um Lately what I've been doing is I've been getting myself prepared for next year. I've made me a sticker thing for my New Year sessions to come out. I've been giving one of my moderators like tip-ins, giving her a little clip art so she can actually make stickers out of it. And I'm about to just take off on that other channel and have fun, because I miss doing those type of things. I miss the fun that I used to have on that channel. So that's exactly where we're going with that. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go and look at this. Okay. Okay. I'm going to copy. Hold on. Don't Chopper keep leaving me. Where I'm at, right here. Post that right there. I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming, Chopper. You all right, babes?
Yeah, so that's the site. It's another site I got too that I bought. It's a it's a service. It's not a site, but you know.
Oh my God. Chopper. Oh my, I'm in love already. Oh, you know what?
What?
I've I've been on here before. Basically, looking at people who do the Kindle Direct publishing.
Yeah. So it's a guy that I watch. His name is. Let me see. How could I find him? Well, I guess I can't look at it while I'm. But he
Yeah.
just did a video this morning. He released another video about the KDP, and it's this white guy from. I think he live in Canada, but he's from another country, like
Mm-hmm.
UK or something. And he does. That's all he does. He does commentary on those KDPs and how you can make money on.
You
And
got to give me his channel name.
I have another way of making money too, selling what is it called? Coloring books. I know how to make coloring books. And I know how to
Yeah,
do it for free. Yeah.
but I'm gonna tell you a secret. So yesterday I was making New Year's, because I'm making my stickers for my planner, right? So I
Uh-huh.
was like, oh, I want me a nice New Year's background, maybe
Uh-huh.
in a rose gold color. And
Uh-huh.
then I said, oh, I need a doll. I need a doll. So I was like, okay, let me get me some dolls. So my mom, she was like, what a big girls at? You got all these little skinny girls. So I'm like, girl, okay, let me do a big girl. So I made this. Hold on. And she gonna be a planner stickle. I'm finna share my screen. Hold on. Dang, I ain't been on over here in so long. Where is it at? Oh, present. Share screen right here. Share. Go back to StreamYard. Y'all see my girl. Look at my girl. Her big and sexy, ain't her? So she gonna be one of my New Year Eve planner sticker girls. I think she is so pretty. Her is so pretty.
You
Look at that
probably
blue.
use you probably use the same software I use.
Let me tell you why I've been cheating. I've been cheating using AI. And
Okay,
then
so
with AI, you describe things the way that you want to see it, so you may not ever see it again. Like with my avatar that I have here, I won't see anybody else with that because the AI programming that I used, I say what I want it to look like. I describe how I want it to look.
right,
So ain't no way nobody gonna be able to replicate her. Just
right.
lovely with her Gucci belt and her microphone.
Right.
So ain't nobody gonna be able to do that. And then like it's certain like I might say microphone with no wording on it, and then I can go in somewhere else and add in what I wanted to say on my microphone. And it just say just lovely. It say it don't say just lovely, it just say J JL network. That's what it say right now. But
Right.
and so basically what I've been doing is I've been sharing with my moderator things because I know that she's active on her channel and she actually be doing her stuff. And basically I just been making stuff, sharing it with her, and yeah,
That's what you're
this
supposed to
one of
do.
my New
Network.
Year's look. This one of the New Year's look. Let me see, where am I? That's one of my New Year's looks that I created.
Hmm.
Look at her skin, how it's glowing. You just gotta know how to put your words up and how to word what you looking for. Trust me, when I first started doing this and making, I started doing it to make logos, make
Do
I
you
wanted
use
to make logo
chatbot?
chatbot. What you say, Chopper? What you say? I didn't hear what you asked me. Can I do something? I've been sharing with other content creators, like helping them with their well, I'm not gonna say helping them with their thumbnails, but I noticed that some content creators, they thumbnails be sideways, upside down. I know the measurement when it comes to thumbnails, so I decided that I would help them with their thumbnails and things like that. Because I'd be like, child, don't nobody want to come over there and see them goddamn sideways ass thumbnails. So I've been trying to do that. They used them? No, they haven't used them. So that's on them. Honey, I know my thumbnails be perfect. I don't know what the hell wrong with them. And that's it. I'm a Chopper, I appreciate you for your assistance. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at that. And probably today I'll probably work on notebooks and things like that for my traveler's notebook. Even if I don't make the one that I want, right, Lindsay, you probably know who I'm talking about. But even though I probably don't make the traveler's notebook that I want to make, I probably would just still use the one that I used to use from Foxy Fix. I like the fact that Foxy Fix got my name at the bottom and I got a little bow on the side. And I love doing all that. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to Just Lovely Plans. I ain't ready to go though, y'all. I'm not. Go over to Just Lovely Plans and hold on, let me do something. I'm gonna I'm gonna go and find it and I'm gonna drop it in the thing. Okay, I'm back. I hate StreamYard because she said, "Yep, I know." I hate StreamYard because when you gone, they will cut you short, child. They'll cut you short. Um, but I'm waiting for YouTube to load up. Let me close out some of these windows too, because YouTube can be a hater at times. Why did I do that? Okay. Come back to ScreenYard, child, because ScreenYard will cut you off. Yeah, okay, so look, yeah, I ain't ready to go. Chopper, do you want to look at a video that I did? I don't know what Chopper at, y'all. He ain't on mute. Okay, let me go and look at my content, and we're gonna do a screen share on the video, okay? So I can actually search my channel, and his name was Elijah. Okay, y'all, let's look at this video right here. So y'all, okay, Chopper gone, y'all. We're gonna look at this video right here. And it's a Scarlet. It's a Scarlet video. Yeah, he got disconnected. He back. So Chopper, we're gonna look at a Scarlet video, okay?
Okay.
Let me present screen. Share screen. And we're gonna come back over here. And how can I make this? How can I make that like the full video, like the full screen?
You go to the part at the bottom of the screen. Not go back to it.
Lord. Okay, what I need to do?
Go to that little square at the bottom of your screen. You get what I'm saying? Where the picture is of your Scarlet in the right hand corner at the bottom of your picture. Click on that.
Oh, right here.
I don't see you
Oh,
clicking on.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah,
All right, then I'm gonna make this big so she fit the whole screen.
yeah.
Yep. And then we're gonna press play. And let me turn up the volume.
Oh, hell no. And this is episode number 2 of the Atlanta Murderers.
Nope, this ain't the one I want.
Yes. Today we'll be talking about Elijah Britton. Warning, this video may contain items that may be disturbing to sensitive people. So if you are disturbed by certain items, please go to the next video that Scarlett produces. If not, enjoy this video. And I thank you so much for watching. And this is episode number 2 of Atlanta Murderers. May 26, 2017. The victim, Chastity Jones, was asleep in her Clayton County house with only her infant. She was suddenly awakened at 4 a.m. to find Mr. Elijah Britton in her house. Her husband, Brutus, had left the home earlier that day but not yet returned. Britton was acquainted with both Jones and Brutus because Brutus was a member of Britton's restaurant robbery crew. Britton told Jones that Brutus had gotten him in some trouble before forcing Jones to leave her baby, placing her in the trunk of the car, binding her with phone cords to the point where marks was left on her wrist 4 days later, and driving her to a secluded location in Cobb County. Evidence later established that Britton was familiar with this part of Cobb County from previously committing a robbery in the area and because one of his girlfriends worked nearby. Once they reached the location, Britton tied Jones to a tree and threatened her life at gunpoint. At some point, Britton decided to leave, but indicated that he would return to kill Jones if he had not heard from Brutus within the next 30 minutes. Nevertheless, in the interim, Jones managed to escape and run to a nearby home where the occupants allowed her to use his cell phone, and then he later drove her to a nearby gas station to dial 911. When she used the occupant's cell phone, she frantically called her friends and explained to them what had transpired. She also advised them to please go by her home and check on her baby. At the gas station, she used the payphone to dial 911. When officers arrived, they found Jones barefoot and dressed in her pajamas, which was covered in mud up to her knees. She also was carrying a small bag and a telephone cord. When officers realized that she had been abducted from Clayton County, they turned her and the investigation over to the proper jurisdiction. Her friends reacted to the frantic phone calls and went to her home to check on her child. The garage door was wide open. The door was unlocked to the home. They found the baby unharmed in the upstairs bedroom, but on the floor. They realized that Brutus Jones had not been home
that night, and they filed him as a missing person. But unbeknownst to Jones and her friends, there had been a report around 4:45 a.m. and the body had been identified as Brutus Jones. He was left in the roadway at the border of Clayton County. Brutus had been shot in the head. His cell phone and keys was not on him at the time. Although bloody tire tracks had been found, there was no car in the vicinity. 2 days later, Brutus' car was recovered. It was abandoned not far from where his body was found. The passenger seat headrest was covered in blood, and the garage door opener was missing. When law enforcement realized that her husband was killed, some of her interviews with the various jurisdictions was videotaped. She explained to law enforcement that Britton had came by their home around 10:30 p.m. that evening. He claimed that he was going to be renting a house that same style, and he just wanted to see what it was going to look like before he actually rented the home. She also indicated to the law enforcement officers that Britton was driving a red Grand Prix that evening. In the aftermath, after all the things that had transpired, Jones had moved out of her home that she shared with Brutus in Clayton County. She was in fear so much that she had moved 5 times within that 1 year, trying to run from whatever she was running from. Now, check this out. She had been running from Britain for a whole year. June of 2008, she decided that she was going to go to the Fulton County Department of Family and Children Services and file for food stamps. Now, Britain had a good girlfriend that worked in the food stamp processing office who had access to addresses of any of its applicants. During the relationship, Tinch would often allow Britain to use her car, which was a red Grand Prix. Tragically, 2 days after filing for food stamps, Jones went missing and was never heard of again. Honestly, fam, I don't know how many parts to this is going to be. Elijah Britton was a horrible person, and I think that there's going to be at least 3 more parts to this story. I do know that the next part coming up, we're going to discuss some of the things that he told his cellmate and how his appeal was overthrown based on what he told the cellmate.
Off of herself. Here she go.
Good,
Good morning,
Good
LB, I
gorgeous.
morning,
got you.
Parker.
I was just trying to see if y'all could have a conversation, cause I like you and Brooke, but I mean it been going on a long time. Y'all
Elizabeth
been
asked
It
me,
going
ain't
and
no
he
on
has.
without
conversation.
this
He said he got some seats on me, but his faggot ass ain't doing shit
take
on
this
that
over.
panel.
I guess not.
Child! I got to turn that off because it went to the next video, and I assume that everybody is over there at I don't know where they at, child, but anyway, child, honey, it just skipped from me, Scarlett, to them talking about lemon on drug Sir King, child. Ooh, child, I don't know what the hell going on over there. But hey, Mr. McNeil, let me go ahead on and play part 2. Oh Lord, child, they trying to get me caught up in a trick bag. Let me turn that off too. Hold on. Child, stop playing, girl. Lord have mercy. No. Autoplay off. Okay. Yes, child, look. ODS over there acting a fool. Okay. Let me. ODS over there acting a fool, child. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell going on? But I had it on autoplay. Didn't even know I had it on autoplay. So let's go to part 2. Okay, so look, this is the case that I'm telling y'all about. Mr. Brutus Jones. I knew Brutus Jones from way back in the day. Now, I don't know where you are, but in Atlanta, there used to be these guys that used to be in those damn Astro vans. Y'all remember Astro vans? So they used to be in Astro vans, and they used to have them Astro vans full of damn 15s on gold Danes. I think they were Danes. I don't know what they was, but they used to have them Astro vans with that wet paint, that wet candy paint, and they used to have like the beat. When I tell you the beat, baby, they could come into any community park and you can have a whole party with them Astro vans. And Brutus Jones just so happened to be one of them people that own one of them Astro vans. And basically, Brutus was he was murdered. He was murdered by this guy Elijah Jones. Now, I get a whole lot of comments on these videos. That's why I said I wanted to share these 2 videos with you all, because I plan on putting them on private. Basically, because people be under those videos and they are not so much threatening me, but it's almost like, aha, bitch, we know you. We know you, bitch. We know you. So, and y'all know I ain't in no position to be swinging on the motherfucker. So basically, I want to put them videos on private because the bitch scary. I'm scary. And then I'm so scared that I'm scared of Pinky because I think Pinky might throw my shoulder out of dislocate my damn shoulder. So I don't even be want to fuck with Pinky like that. So me and Pinky, we have a friendship, but she kind of stay in my purse because if I try and find Pinky, baby, Pinky might throw my shoulder out of it might dislocate my shoulder. And I ain't trying to fuck with Pinky like that. So I said I was gonna put them videos on private because them comments that be up under them videos, I'd be like, child, is they threatening me? Are they threatening me? And yeah, I know Brutus Jones so good. Well, he dated one of my cousins and one of my friends. And child, Brutus was missed. And at the same time, I didn't even know that Brutus had a whole wife. I didn't even know. Now, y'all look, y'all see in the other video that she became missing when she went to file for food stamps, not knowing that Elijah Britton had a friend down at the food stamp office who can go into the database and just put in any name and get the address where they actually filed for food stamps. And ever since that girl filed for food stamps, 2 days later, she been missing. And they ain't seen Chastity no more. No more. They have seen Chastity. So let's get on to part 2. Hold on. And I thank you so much for watching. And this is episode number 2. I'm coming, whoever hit the link. Atlanta Murderers. So welcome back to part 2. On part 2, we'll be getting into his appeal. Yes, Mr. Britton did appeal the trial. Mr. Britton felt like the evidence that was shown in the previous trial that got him sentenced to murder was all hearsay. He felt like it was hearsay based on the fact that the trial was
You on the
using
screen, child?
DVDs from the jury surrounding the abduction of Chastity Jones. He felt like he shouldn't have been charged with murder. However, he could stand for kidnapping. He said that the DVDs did not prove that he actually killed Brutus Jones, and Chastity Jones was probably just on the run. So he felt like he should be able to appeal the case. So we're going to get into the appeal. So the evidence showed that on June 28, 2008, Jones left her baby daughter in the care of one of her best friends. She was scheduled to return back to pick the baby up later on, but she never came back. She never answered any phone calls that the friend placed because the friend began to worry about her whereabouts. So the friend testified that her not answering her telephone or picking up the baby was not typical behavior for Jones. In fact, it was quite unusual. She decided that around 2:30 she would go to Jones' home. And just at that time, Jones' daughter was returning home from school. There was neither an answer at the door to the home nor again Jones's phone. So she decided she was going to call Jones' mom. But Jones's mother hadn't heard from her either. The friend then picked up Jones's older son from school, and again, this was a usual practice for Jones. She usually picked her son up for school every day, but on this particular day, she did never show up. Then, upon returning back to Jones's residence, the friend and Jones' mother entered the home, only to find that things was out of order. Jones' home was usually a tidy place to stay. As they walked through the house, they began to notice things that was amiss, like knives laying out on the kitchen counter, a bedroom TV left on, the ironing board left out, and then they also noticed that there was a trunk release button that was severed from a car laying up under the ironing board. They also realized that in the garage was the baby's stroller, which usually was in Jones's car, that was also missing. They also realized that there was blood in the garage that led up the stairs to the bathroom and into the bathtub. When law enforcement arrived, they realized that there was an additional gun hole in the ceiling of Jones's bedroom and a strange liquid. The strange liquor was leading from Jones's bedroom down into the garage. The officers took blood samples and did a DNA test with the mother, and it did come back that the DNA test with the blood and the mother was related, and Jones was her only child. Police immediately suspected Britton, who was not incarcerated at the time. In Jones's disappearance, after speaking to the friends and family, they linked Britton to Tinch, who worked at the defects office where Jones had recently applied for food stamps. In addition to this testimony, the state also presented testimony from Britton's former cellmate. Now, the cellmate claimed that Britton said that he wasn't worried about Jones testifying against him in trial. So that was a dead wash. And he felt that the DVDs in this case did not matter because she could not say that he had killed Brutus. And the only thing that she could have said on the DVDs was that he kidnapped her. It was thrown out. So let's talk about Miss Octavia Nicole Atkins. As we already see, Britton has no problem with getting rid of problems. If Mr. Britton feel like he got an issue, his cellmate claim and testified that Mr. Britton says that he have a 5-step method to problem solving. And step number 2 is get rid of the problem, even if it means murder. So, Octavia Atkins, as we already know,
At pretrial hearing, the state preferred evidence regarding the murder, kidnapping, and aggravated assault of Octavia Atkins in Forsyth County in August 2006, less than 1 year prior than Jones's May 2007 abduction. In August of 2006, Atkins' nude body was found in a Forsyth County farmhouse. Her feet was covered in mud. She had strangulation marks around her neck, and her body was covered in dirt and leaves. Just a few days prior to finding her body, she had received some money that Britain had promised her. DNA evidence recovered from the body could not exclude Britain as a suspect, and the location of her body was not far from the scene of a restaurant robbery Britain allegedly committed with Atkins' boyfriend. Additionally, Atkins' vehicle was found 1 mile from Britton's home. At trial, the state established all these facts by testimony of Shabazz. Shabazz was Atkins' boyfriend at the time. The state also presented testimony of Britton's cellmate, to whom he mentioned Octavia Atkins. Last but not least, Samelia Blake. As to Samelia Blake, who actually lives to see another day, at the pretrial hearing, the state professed evidence regarding an incident in which Britton broke into her home and confronted her. Between March and April of 2007, not long before he had kidnapped Jones, Britton was romantically involved with Blake. Early one morning during this time period, while alone, Blake suddenly encountered Britton in her home. So it's only two parts to this Britton case, guys. I just wanted to let you all see the type of people who we involve ourselves with every day. We involve ourselves with significant others that we have no clue as to what they're doing. And I'm speaking to younger females because I have been in situations before where I had been with somebody who I thought, well, maybe they just doing a little this. And child, they were way faster than me because, honey, I couldn't get down with some of the things that some of these people do. And then for the women in this situation who was murdered because their significant other was tied up with somebody else that was a lunatic. Like, if y'all can't get y'all robbery sprees together and goddamn commingle and get along, then you don't need to be a part of the crew. Now listen, y'all know I'm just bullshitting, right? It's not good to commit any type of crime. I don't give a damn what it is. You should not be out here robbing restaurants or nobody else. I'm just saying, a lot of these young females get involved with these dudes and think that, oh, they just sell a little dope or they just sell a little weed and they out here robbing people. And I wonder whatever happened to Miss Tinch. Did she lose her job down to the defects? I am going to be researching. I may come back with a part 2.1 in this case because I am very interested in Shabazz. I do know that Shabazz, who was Atkins' boyfriend at the time, he was serving time in the Clayton County jail, but he was transported on some type of federal indictment to Philadelphia. So it may be a 2.1 where I go and give the backstory of Tinch to see where she is these days and see if she was ever committed to any type of jail time due to these situations because he was using her car. And I want to also check in on Shabazz and see what's up with him. And if you like these type of videos, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please comment down in the comment section. Give me more, and I will investigate more cases just like these. And I thank you so much for watching. Mwah. Child, I even left the cap cut on now, child. Lord help me, Jesus. But honey, I do need to go and research Tinch. I need to go and see what the word going on with Tinch because I feel like Tinch should have had some charges against her
it's not good for you to be getting out information on people who apply for food stamps to lunatics that commit crimes like murder. I don't think that's good. And what you call it said that what's her name? Shantastic or whatever the girl name. She did a story on this case too. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she supposedly live in Atlanta too. And Jones was very well known. So it's not surprising to me that that's possible. But y'all, I don't know what to think. Like, and Shabazz, I forgot all about this. Once I get these stories out here, yeah, she need to be locked up. Shabazz, he got caught up on a federal case, and they did move him to Philadelphia to a federal facility. And I want to know, like, Britain, he had issues, like, I don't know. And like I said, okay, so Brutus, he was very well known. He was popular. I probably have been in the presence of Britain and didn't even know it. Yes, that one. I probably was in the presence of Britain and didn't even know it. And not even knowing his background and what he was capable of. Because, like I said, my friends, I have a friend that dated Brutus, and then like I have a friend whose sister dated some of his friends. I never dated any of those guys. And when I ended out this video, I was thinking to myself about the things that I have the situations that I put myself in when it came to dating and my, people that I surrounded myself with. If y'all may not know, and I said I was gonna start speaking about the ex-husband on the videos or whatever, because I believe that he do be over here looking. I think this video might be long enough to where he probably lose interest and go ahead on about his life. But he be calling me Miss Blogger because he noticed that I had been speaking about him. And it's been times where we when we were together, I probably could have ran across. Now, I don't think he would have caused me any harm or danger, but just imagine some of the people that he's associated himself with, and if they probably got upset with him the way that Britain got upset with Brutus and took it out on Chastity too. I could have been a victim of these type of situations, and this what made me interested in the case. Now, when I went to Mr. Jones's funeral, I didn't even know what happened, why it happened. I remember he was found on the side of the road, but I did not ever know that he was involved in any restaurant robberies or anything like that until his actual death. And for whatever reason, one day I was just sitting and I was thinking about I wonder whatever happened to the case. And I looked up the case and I was speechless. I was speechless as to what I read, especially about those restaurant robberies. Um when I went to his funeral, it was just like I lost a good friend. He was a really nice guy. I lost a good friend, but you never know what a person is doing in the backstory of their life. You don't have an idea or a clue. Just because they treat you in a certain manner, don't mean they ain't out here doing some old fucked up shit, child. You just gotta be you have to be careful of the company that you keep. You have to be careful of the company that you keep. And this case really opened my eyes because when I actually started investigating this case, and it said that I uploaded this video on, hold on. This video was uploaded on hold on, let me see y'all. 2022. So for some odd reason, I was interested in knowing whatever happened to Brutus Jones. Y'all, this case actually happened way back in 2007. So I don't know what made him cross my mind at the time, why I was interested in the case, but it really did open my eyes to a lot of things. Y'all, fact, I dated a few dope boys when I was younger, and I would never do it today. Exactly, girl, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Child, my ex, that he used to think it was so cute and funny, but I didn't think that shit was cute and funny at all. But he was saying to me one day that when we were way younger, and I'll be the first to admit, when they was talking about that, I think last night, Brooke, girl, you a trip too. But last night I had kind of woke up in the middle of the night and I heard the last part of Brooke and her whole thing about the parents, the parents, the parents, the parents. My parents would have never known some of the things that I had going on in my earlier life with my ex. My parents probably thought that I was at my good girlfriend house spending the night, and me and my ex at a goddamn hotel. And my ex told me when we was in our 20s that there was a time where I was at the hotel laying on $100,000. I was at the hotel laying on $100,000, y'all. He said that before we went to the hotel, he had already had the room. He said before I even got there, he had placed this money in this room that he had went and got from somewhere I don't damn fucking know. But I was living a dangerous life. And he told me that I was laying on over $100,000. And I got some of that money. I do recall getting some of that money. I do, because that's what it was about. You, your boyfriend, he doing nice things for you, take you out on nice dates and buying you, like, y'all, my early 20s, every week hairstyles last for a good 2 weeks. Every week I'm going to get hairstyles, nails done, new outfit for the club that I was going to go to, and I went to 5 a week. So I'm getting new outfits for me to go to the club, hairstyles, um, nails done, and this is a weekly thing. This was a weekly thing, and my parents, they ain't, you can't put it on the parents. So, and then they was like, these kids was disenfranchised. I was never that. I was never that. I just, yeah, them damn gifts be nice. I just was a hot ass girl that felt like I was in love. And I'm sure that these people that was in these cases thought they was in love too, child. I'm glad I survived. I'm glad I survived all my dumb ass shit. I didn't actually start working on real jobs until my 30s, because he did so much for me. He took care of so much for me. Got me cars, got me all kind of shit. So basically, and paid the rent. It used to, and what used to be so crazy is when it was time to pay the bills and the rent, this nigga would come in there and throw that goddamn money at me and be like, "Him, pay these motherfucking bills." And I tell y'all all the time, he never was physically abusive to me. Maybe a little psychological. I give him that, but never physically abusive. He treated me like I was a queen. He treated me like I unless you say cheating, was treating me like shit. I felt like that really hurt my feelings a whole lot. That chin shit, ooh, child. But I felt like me being able to do and go and on trips with my girlfriends. I told y'all I done been to Silver, I done been to Daytona Bike Week, Myrtle Beach. I done did all kind of trips with my friends. and had the money to go and have a good time, no problems, then you have a fucking job. But sometimes you will overlook certain things to say that you had experienced life. I definitely experienced life, but I think that I paid a price. Uh, God was definitely looking out for us, Lynn T, because I escaped I escaped that lifestyle from any diseases. I escaped that lifestyle from no harm done towards me. So God was definitely looking. They say He look out for children and fools, baby. And I'll be the first to admit I was definitely a fool. Definitely a fool. Shame on me. Shame on me. But me going back and looking over that case again, I intend on going and looking up information on Tinch. I want to know what the hell happened to Shabazz. I already, and honestly, I don't think that they ever discovered the remains of Chastity. A lot of times when people speak about Chastity, they say that she just ran off, but I don't think Chastity ran off. I think Chastity was a victim of Britain too, and we just haven't discovered her remains yet. So I miss my true crime, y'all. I do. I actually thought about doing a whole nother channel and doing true crime and just leaving this to the B sector to have fun. But I think that this is where it belongs. It belongs right here. I can intermingle the two. I can. And I feel like I said earlier, I appreciate the donations to the channel so that I could keep up with my StreamYard, because I love incorporating pictures. I love being able to incorporate you could share I think that if I ain't mistaken, what's her name? Cruiser. She was saying she don't pay for StreamYard because this or that. But honestly, Cruiser, you can actually still share items on StreamYard without paying for the service. It's just that if I want to incorporate pictures, videos, and things like that, where I don't have to actually lose the space, because the thing with StreamYard, when you share a lot of time, it's choppy. I realized last night when Pizza was playing music, it was choppy simply because it was not within the StreamYard platform. She was just sharing her screen. If I were, and when I actually put those pictures of Wayne Williams and the kids in the background, it was simply because I paid for the subscription and I was able to actually incorporate that into the live screen. So I appreciate that, and I love being able to have access to that. Now I'm gonna let y'all go because I'm nosy. I want to go see what the hell Lemon, ODS, and Sir King got going on, child. Because it came up in the damn live. I need to go and tell ODS don't goddamn strike my channel because my shit was on autoplay, and I was actually playing one of my old videos, and you came up next. So don't strike me down. Don't strike me down. But I'm nosy, y'all, and we might come and go live again later on so I could get there and talk about that, because they was over there doing some good cussing what time it is? Oh, it's afternoon. My damn sister ain't got here yet. She's supposed to be coming to take me home so I can get I want to go home and get my cutting machine and my printer so I can work on the things for the other channel too. And I supposed to be going to get the other channel information so I could put it in this thing. But I didn't do it. So on that note, y'all have a blessed day. I'm gonna go ahead and leave y'all with this. Be careful with the company that you keep. I know he ain't gonna strike me. Be careful with the company that you keep. Although they treat you good, it ain't no telling how they treat others. And I came to realize that I could have been caught up in so many situations that I wasn't even ready for. Hell, I don't even know if this man got no murder up on his belt, but I sure wouldn't want to be a tench and be caught up in some bullshit because I'm letting this motherfucker use my car. No, ma'am, Pam. Y'all be careful, young ladies and men. Have a good day. Bye.